Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm gonna put a couple links in the chat, and if you're watching this later on YouTube or something like that, I will have included those below. First, if you're looking for something to jot notes down, I do have a download of the 2026 social media planning calendar template. It's really just a printed off calendar that looks like this. It's nothing special. It's got a couple notes. I stole it from Canva, and you can put notes on it if you want something to quickly jot stuff down on. The other thing that I will say, I'm going to mention this later, but we use a tool called Buffer, and they do have a free plan where you can attach up to 3 channels to it. So I'm going to include a link to Buffer in there as well. I've used them for, I don't know, 12 years or something. It's like Loomly or Hootsuite or any of the other social media sharing and planning tools. And I just like it. You can use whatever you want, or you don't have to use anything. It's optional. All right, so let's share my screen and we'll dive right into this. Share this, share this, share this. Let's go. All right, so planning our 2026 social media calendar, which is awesome because getting ahead in life is great. And the social media side of things tends to be a bit of a headache, especially if we're doing it last minute. And so right here, we're going to dive right in and say, so the plan today in the next half hour-ish is to put some work together to plan out your calendar and to sort of put some milestones in there so you have stuff to build around. The way that I like to do it is I like to put down sort of these center milestones and be like, okay, Christmas Day is an example of that. Uh, Christmas is coming up. What is everything that goes around that? Is there pre, is there post? Soon do I have to prepare for it? And all of those things. So, one of the ways that we do social media wrong is we tend to post random content that doesn't really tie into our overall marketing strategy. Or we post all about sales all the time, and it's like, hey, buy from me because I'm awesome and I have great stuff. And we just say that over and over and over again. Our focus is not on relationships. So instead of trying to build relationships and get in front of people, like I'm doing right now, full disclaimer, uh, you tend to focus on yourself and you're saying, hey, look at me. I'm not concerned about you. Look at me. You don't have a strategy. You're not really sure what you're trying to accomplish. You just know that 7 million people tell you you need to be on social media, but you don't really know why, and you don't have a real measure of success. You're not targeting anyone in particular, and you're just posting last minute because, well, we need to put something up to let people know that we're still alive and we're still in business. So, those are some of the lists. I'm sure if you just went to town in the chat, you could post like a million reasons as to ways that you've seen people do social media wrong, or you could pick on me, say, Richard, these are all the ways that you've done social media wrong. And I'm sure there would be lots. It's always learning, it's always evolving and changing. And today we're going to try and fix some of that. Poor images, that's a good one. Yeah. Create content in advance. Why do we want to focus on trying to get ahead and try to get ourselves at least a month ahead with our social media? So it saves time and reduces last minute stress. I'm going to pick on Christmas a lot because we're in the Christmas season, but for people who are in the Christmas rush, like if that's a part of your business where you have that rush and you can put this wherever you want throughout the year, it doesn't matter. During that season, you don't want to be thinking about, oh yeah, I got to get a post up. It's not going to happen. So if you can reduce stress by getting all of that stuff prepped ahead of time, you just let it roll out. And you don't have to worry about it. So ensures consistent posting schedule as opposed to 2 posts this week and then one maybe next month. It allows you to keep staying in front, especially with how little our content gets in front of people. The more that we are able to post, the better on a consistent basis. Allows you to get a second opinion. And that's really important, especially for those of us who are terrible at spelling and grammar, because if we don't get a second opinion, then we produce stuff that has spelling errors. And if you notice any spelling errors in my PowerPoint, just drop them in chat because there probably will be one. Spell check. Yes, I did spell check. That doesn't mean that it's perfect. And collaborate with an expert, with a friend, with your mom, whoever wants to sit with you and work this stuff out. Today, we're going to focus on picking just one channel, and there's so many different channels out there. If you are someone who has time and can tailor content to each channel, then I would focus on creating a content schedule for different channels. In most cases, it's like I have time to do one thing and then I spread it across my accounts. In my opinion, that's better than doing nothing. But ideally, you would create different content because you would have different target markets in each of those channels that would react with your content a little different. The people who use Instagram on a very consistent basis want to see their content in this format, and the people who use Facebook prefer to see it or interact with it in this sort of format. And a lot of that understanding gets into actually diving a little deeper into your analytics, into your engagements, and understanding how people are actually interacting with your content. And then producing more content like that that actually meets the people that you want to talk to. You can create a lot of content and attract people that you don't actually want to work with or you don't actually want associated with your brand. And that's not helpful either. So you do need to create content, but you do need to create stuff that actually is applicable. As I mentioned in the chat, there's the download to the PDF planner. If you find that helpful, grab it. You can also use online services to plan out your calendar. I've got a picture of my buffer sitting up there. Loomly, Hootsuite, there's a million different ones like that. I've used everything from some that are really expensive and some that are incredibly cheap. And then after about a year, they went out of it's not that they went out of business. I think they're one of those companies that they spit something out, they sell it, and then it's almost a scam. And then they give you a lifetime membership, and then they drop off the grid, let the product expire, recreate the entire thing a second time under a different name, sell it again, and it's the same thing. So, anyways, I've used it all. If you have any questions about a specific platform, I may or may not have used it already. Uh, my preference is that I'm not affiliated with Buffer. I don't get a kickback or anything like that. Uh, we're not anything. It's just I've used them for a very long time, and they do have a free tier that you can use. But it does allow for only limited amount of scheduling. So you can schedule, I think, 10 posts. So anything beyond that, you need a paid plan. So, what does success look like for you? So, based on just jot this down really quick. Based on your thoughts right now, what's the one thing that your social media needs to accomplish for you in 2026 that will move the needle in your business? And this is really important. If we don't have a clear target of what we're going after, then we could just, create a bunch of content, create a bunch of fluff, but it doesn't actually move our business forward. So, right now, what's that one thing that your social media needs to accomplish for you in 2026? And I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're willing to share, send me like a one, two word comment in chat. I'd love to hear, what are those one things that you think your social media needs to accomplish for you? Is it more engagement? Is it maybe just one new client? My goal with social media this year is that through my social media actions, I want to get one more one more customer actually engaging with me. Definitely more engagement. Yes, I agree with that. I got my mug. I should probably hold it this way so they don't think that I'm sponsoring Tim Hortons or something. Diverse line of product, reach more people on Instagram. Okay, awesome. So we've got some thoughts. let's move ahead. Second question that I have is who is your target market? And if you've done any sort of business planning, then you're maybe have put some thought into this. But this is also important because we want to make sure that as we're going through this process, that we know, who is our customer. And if you're like, I'm completely unsure, I have no idea what a target market is, uh, schedule a time with me and we'll sit down and we'll go through, a little bit of marketing strategy and figure out, okay, this is the direction you should go. Because if you can actually hone in onto who your customer actually is, then you're able to speak to that person. If I know, for example, I'll pick on Tracy because she's in here. If Tracy loves chocolate, then I know that, hey, I can talk about chocolate and she's going to be interested in what I'm talking about. If I'm going to be talking about raisins, well, then maybe she's not as interested. I don't know. I can't remember if you like raisins or not, Tracy, but I know Karma hates them. Um, who's your competitor's customer? So if you're not entirely sure who your customer is, who's your competitors' customers? We can sort of piggyback off of other people's target markets and say, okay, I kind of like customers like that. Why did they choose your product or service? What problems do you solve for them? And most importantly, who is not in your market? So who do you not want to target? Sandy says businesses and clubs. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, for your line of business. Who's not in your market? Because we also want to eliminate the people that we don't want to talk to. So there's no point in me spending hours preparing quotes and going through the sales process with someone that isn't going to be a good customer for me in the end. So your target market determines what you say and how you say it, and think of it as speaking the correct language. If you could easily boil it down to one thing, you want to speak the language of the people that you're talking to. So, for example, if I could use this analogy, if your target market was quilters, you would be able to use all of the language that goes along with people who are quilting because they have a specific language that they use. And so we want to make sure that we are able to do that. Whereas if I took all of that quilting language, and I don't really know much for quilting languages, I don't know why I chose that as an example, but if I was talking about a loom and saying this is how you do this, and my target market was businesses and accounting, it doesn't really jive. So make sure you're speaking the correct language to the people, and that in itself will weed out different people. And you want to have that velvet rope, which is important. So, what are we going to say? Okay, we've got this is who we're going to say it to. What are we actually going to say? I'm only going to break it down into four different parts here. There's your promotions, your sales, your actual straight up, hey, buy this thing type messages. Uh, 20% or less, I would probably go more towards 10% personally, is these are my advertising, buy me now type messages. Typically, they get more glossed over. So if your entire focus was just here's a sale, here's a sale, here's a sale, here's a sale, then there's no brand engagement. It's just there's your flyer every 2 days. Educate. This is focused on showing the why. So people have to understand how to use the products or how they're made or all of those things that go around educating people about your product. Now, a lot of these things get used in sort of sales, in saying, hey, these are the features and benefits of our particular product. But we don't do it in a promotion side of way. We do it in an educational way. Inspire, show people what makes you and how they can be that awesome. So, what makes you awesome? What makes your product awesome? This is why it's so great. I've got this thing and I can, jump across buildings with it. And you can be awesome too if you have it. Now, that's also a slightly different thing than a sale. Like in the end, we see them all as kind of being sales, but at the end, it's not a sales message. It's how we want people to interact with it afterwards. Entertain. That's our fun, relatable content, our brand building content. And some people just focus on more of the entertainment side of things and they miss the inspire and the educate side of things. And so their strategy is completely tilted. And you may get more engagement and awareness out of it, but you're missing out on some of the other pieces. Next thing is, how are we going to say it? Is this going to be a video, an image, a graphic, a text, an interactive, a download, etc.? I'm just going to skip through a bunch of these and then we're going to build a post through this. And I might jump back and forth in some slides. So, what action do we want? With every post that we put together, make sure to include, even just in your notes, to say, the person who's interacting with this particular post, at the end of it, what do I need them to do? What is the action that I want to accomplish with this? And then ask for it. So is it building trust? I want them to trust me more. Okay, well that might be a different type of post. It might be engagement, like, share, etc. And so with engagement, you may do more educational pieces. You may do more entertainment pieces. I want someone to purchase. I want someone to download, ask questions, follow, visiting a store, using a code. So make sure for each post to write down this is the outcome that we want because if you don't have that as a goal, it's not going to happen. So based on your business, how much time can you spend on social media? And this is also important. How many posts are you actually going to plan with for per month? Like if you listen to like Gary V or something like that, it's like, yeah, you got to post like 63 times a day and you got to be posting in 43 different channels and you got to be doing video and images and all of this stuff and you got to be doing it now and all the time. And guys like Gary Vee are very different. They're built different, and they have the opportunity now because that's all they do. For those of us who are actually business owners and need to run a business and don't have time to spend all of their time on social, it's finding a healthy budget line of saying, you know what? I can post once a week. I can do a really good post once a week, or I can post twice a week, or it's going to be whatever. Or maybe it's just a block of time and it's saying, on the first Monday of every month, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to plan this out. And if you need accountability in that, then reach out. Maybe we set up an accountability group or something and say, okay, for the first month of or first day of every month, I'm going to have my post planned out. Now, ideally, you want to plan out a little bit more ahead of that. So let's say on the 15th of every month, I'm going to plan out my next month's posts and I've got 4 hours to spend on it. Whatever I get done in that 4 hours, that's what it is. I'll start with once a week and then I'll add some other different ones in there. When is the best time to post? And the best time of day to post varies greatly based on your platform, based on your audience, your business, and your expectations. And it's honestly okay just to post when it works for you. It's okay. If your audience is school moms that don't post at 2 a.m., or maybe you do because they're up, up running around, uh, depending on your particular audience, maybe your product is for parents who have a hard time sleeping, and maybe you want to target 3 a.m. people. So, step one, your plan should include the goal of the post, a general title or a theme, the type of post, action, outcome, and a due date. So each post that you're going to come up with is going to include those things. Okay, so the next thing is, what should I actually be posting about? I'm going to go through several steps here that are really um, easy to follow, but if you start stacking them on top of each other, it becomes a lot of posts. So you're just going to pick one and you're going to do it well. And then based off of that particular post, you're going to then start moving that to other ones. So what are the types of things that I can post or that I should be posting around? So some of them are easy. We can easily pick out these things. And so these are the easy ones that we're going to jump off of. Okay, so national holidays. New Year's Day, L'Oreal, Good Friday, Victoria Day, Canada Day. These are all kind of the ones that are like, okay, I know Thanksgiving is coming up. It's going to happen in 2026. What is the Thanksgiving post going to be about? And depending on your particular business, you may have an entire sales process that's happening around a particular holiday. So Christmas Day, for example, all of that Christmas shopping, well, all of that, the Christmas shopping is going to happen between sort of beginning of November, it starts to creep up. Uh, Technically, it's officially more from Cyber Monday, so from yesterday till December 24th. That's sort of your unofficial Christmas season. And so I know that that is going to be happening. What is my plan for the Christmas season? Am I going to have a particular sale? Is there a particular product that I'm going to be pushing? Is there a particular thought that I'm going to be pushing? Like, it doesn't necessarily even have to be about a particular product as much as um, it could be a feeling or an emotion that you're trying to attach to your brand. And so, how are you bringing that through? So, we've got our national holidays here. We're going to make sure that we have some stuff ticked off for that. Um, oh, here's my Christmas Day. My Christmas Day write up. Uh, Using Christmas Day as the example, I just went over all this. So, how does this post tie into my overall marketing efforts? How does it go across? And what is the journey that my customer is taking with me? And other thing to remember is that our customers will probably only see, unless we're running, turning, and boosting them and turning them into a whole bunch of ads, um, they're probably only going to see like one or two posts if we're lucky, during like a 3 week stretch, unless they're really big engagers of your content. Because of algorithms and everything like that, customers are not going to see as many posts as we want them to see. The only way we can guarantee that is to actually pick up the phone and call them and be like, hey, look at my post. And they're not all going to do that. So for Christmas Day, Cyber Monday, December 24th. You may also have Boxing Day sale. Well, that needs to be prepped ahead of time too. And you'll be promoting that 2 weeks. So your Christmas season might run up to middle of Christmas. And it's like, okay, people are done buying for Christmas. If they're buying last minute, they're going to find it anyways. And now it's like, okay, we're on to Boxing Day now. The other thing is how far in advance can you or do you need to prepare your content? How long does it take you to prepare content? If you can rip off 30 posts in half an hour, that's incredible. And if you need to spend half an hour just to prepare one post, that's great. But knowing that and making realistic expectations as to these are how many posts that I can actually accomplish. And if you just need a goal, once a week, shoot for once a week. It gets you started, it gets you learning, you understand your own workflow, and it's more about the consistency than it is about the quantity, at least to get started. So when we work with clients and help them with their social media planning, we'll be looking at a minimum 1 month ahead. So by the 15th of the month, we want to be having a conversation about the next month's content so it can be prepped and scheduled and already in. Before that month even arrives, you want to have all of that stuff scheduled. And there's lots of tools that you can use, like Facebook. I'll just use them. Say you're just using Facebook. Facebook has social media planning built right into it. You can schedule your posts It's not always the easiest. If you're using multiple platforms, then you can use a free tool like Buffer. Uh, Ideally, you want to have a planning session where we plan out like 6 months ahead. So at least you have some things on your radar and you're creating a bit of a management or a sales marketing strategy and understanding, okay, then that ties into your overall marketing strategy. So step three, some other events that you want to pick on is the ones like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, St. Patrick's Day, all of the sort of major holidays, and uh, but they're not really holidays. They're sort of holidays. They're not, you don't get them off. They're not a stat holiday. So other major events. Your business may apply to like religious and cultural observances. So Ash Wednesday, Ascension Day, Yom Kippur. Um, I want to say Habakkuk, but that's wrong. That's terrible. The Jewish holiday around Christmas, Tracy.
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah, thank you. Okay. So other holidays like that may apply to your particular business, and you want to bring them in as a part of who you are and how you promote yourself online. Step four, these are the big sales events. So Black Friday, that's the day after the US Thanksgiving. And if you need to jot this down, Thursday, November 26th in 2026. And then Cyber Monday is the Monday after the US Thanksgiving. Green Monday, that's the second Monday in December. Green Monday is seen as the last chance to buy before Christmas. So to make sure that your product arrives under your tree by Christmas Day, order it by the second Monday in December. Boxing Day, New Year's sales, those are some of the really big ones. Uh, Technically, you can kind of make them up, but local events. What is happening in your area? And I know this will go area to area. So if I jump over to Ashern, I've got I think it's still on the Labor Day, where you get the ag fair happening there, or the rodeo. The rodeo is happening there, and there's different rodeos and stuff that are happening. So the ag fair happens here, Country Fest happens here. In Winnipeg, you might have the Red River X. I'm not sure what you guys have up in the Paw, but so locally. Uh, Parades, winter festivals, all of those little sort of community events that are happening. Uh, what's happening along those lines that we can become a part of it online, join in the conversation, and just get a mention in about it. Trappers Festival in the Paw, that's right. Yeah, need some more tea. Step six, other posts. So these are the other ones that so we're talking about. You I put education in here, but what are some of the topics that we can cover? Will these be off of blog posts or something else? Reaction videos are another great thing where you're actually talking about something, whether that's something that you don't have to react to other creators, you can react to a distributor. So, say you get a particular type of fabric. Sandy, I know you use fabric. So, say you get a particular type of fabric, why would I, as a customer, choose one shirt over another shirt or one particular product over another type of product that you sell? Because this one's better in -40 and this one's better in +40. Well, whatever the reason is. Testimonials, curated content that was from other creators, but then also for um, distributors and vendors, etc. FAQs and portfolio. So, what have you been working on that you can share with everyone? And so sometimes you can take these and you can say, okay, every second Tuesday is going to be a testimonial. And you can start by blocking out your calendar and saying, I'm going to post twice a week. And during that twice a week, these are the type of posts that are going in to my month. So now that I know the type of posts, I can say, okay, I don't do video, or I only do video, or I only do images. So what is the image? What is the title? What is the outcome for each one of these? And you just slowly start to break it down. And the more that you go through this process, the quicker it will become and the more it will make sense. And then one of my personal favorites that I don't do enough of, and we need to start doing some more of, Tracy, is unique days. One's like International Fun at Work Day. That's April 1st. Well, that's April Fool's Day too. National Sourdough Bread Day is also April 1st, apparently. Walk Around Things Day is April 4th. International Pillow Fight Day is April 5th. National Lost Sock Memorial Day is May 9th. National Dance Like a Chicken Day is May 14th. World Bee Day is May 20th. World Turtle Day, May 23rd. And I actually know someone who celebrates World Turtle Day because she loves turtles. Day of the Ninja is December 5th. Put a Pillow in Your Fridge Day is May 29th. International Talk Like a Pirate Day is September 19th. And that one I actually have heard people celebrate as well. World Nutella Day, National Burrito Day. You can also make up your own day. Silly Walks Day. Oh, that's a great Monty Python skit. I love that one. You can make up your own day. There's in town here, there's a fellow they made, I think it was Yellow T-shirt Day, and somehow it became like a really big thing. But it was just something that they came up with and created. And so you can create your own days and, hey, this is the National T-shirt Day or whatever it is. Uh, how legit these lists are, I don't know about the actual, World Turtle Day. I know that it's May 23rd, but I don't know who decided that that's actually allowed. The big thing is to have fun, build relationships, and enjoy the journey. And I only wanted to spend half an hour sort of going over this process to give you the framework that you can start to build your 2026. And I also wanted to leave time so that if you do need to get places or if you have questions, that we can go over those. So, just quick, some of the ways that we help businesses is with one-on-one strategy sessions, social media management, content creation, and video editing. It's part of all the things that we do at Bankert. And there's my thank you slide. But let's jump back in and say, what are some questions that you have? What's the next step that you're going to take? You can either unmute yourself or you can just ask in chat, and I'll gladly answer any questions that we have. What does everyone use for planning right now? Do you have a planning tool? I'll
I
go back.
just use Facebook for Instagram and Facebook and use our business suites for Sandy Cove. But we're a nonprofit, so our targets are like everybody because we have donors and parents and campers. Um,
Yeah.
so
Well, within that, even though we target everyone, you can still target specific subgroups of everyone. So if I have a target market that is, I want to attract donors, I want to attract which type of donors, and keep following that thread a little bit deeper until you get down to the type of nonprofit people that you want that post to attract, and then speak to them. That doesn't mean that your post isn't going to reach a wider audience or that other people aren't going to relate to what you said. It's just you're specifically going to resonate with that particular person.
I think I want to say Union Gospel Mission does that really well when they ask for specific donations like socks, right?
Right.
If somebody hears that they need socks, then you might get a financial donation out of that, but you'll also get people who actually physically drop off socks.
Yeah, don't do that if you don't want socks. But Facebook is great in that way because you can link Instagram and then you can have them auto post across. Most of us don't have time to curate different content for Facebook and Instagram. So, yeah, that's great. What do you think is going to be the biggest issue with creating your 2026 calendar? We'll see if everyone's just eating lunch or if we're still here. Time. Yeah, time is a big one. That's where you got to block it in. Time management. So at time, put it on your calendar. And don't worry about the problem we have when we look at posting or anything we do is that it's like, oh, I should be doing this now. I should be getting this out now. If you are watching this now or watching it later, it doesn't matter. Be like, I don't have time right now. I'm gonna get to it in January. That's okay. Just plan for February. Just block in for the next time and say, okay, I'm going to get on schedule and I'm going to get it in for the next month upcoming. If we try to rush it too much and worry about it too much, then it just becomes it's another thing that we have to do and we don't enjoy it. And, the social media stuff should be an enjoyment. Awesome. Did you guys have any other questions? Need lead time for our products, need to think in the future instead of reaction. Yeah, absolutely. Especially that. I guess that's another part of it too, is that depending on your particular organization or business, you may have seasonal products. So I know Sandy is in the t-shirt, and I don't know if you guys do other things like that, but let's say you did water bottles or something like that. Well, that's more of a summer item that maybe camps or groups like that would be interested in purchasing for summer. So therefore, they need to be ordering them almost now. So by having that strategy in your head, you're now helping your customers think ahead and being like, oh yeah, I need that. I need that in 6 months from now, and it's going to take me 4 months in order to get it. So I should be ordering it now. So um, the Aspen Insurance there on Main Street, they have a sign up all the time that says, if your birthday is in this month, then this is your month where you have to renew your MPI. It's, so that people are aware that, oh yeah, I'm born in that month. I need to renew. Where do I do that? Oh, I just pull in and I do that at their office. So different things like that, but we can do it on social, and then it becomes a reminder to people. So, what of our products needs to be thought of ahead of time? What is seasonal? When is it due? And you can start to just pull out all the pieces of paper. You don't have to do it all digitally. I'm old school. I'll put a whole bunch of papers out and I'll start scribbling on whiteboards and say, okay, these are the items that need to go in different spaces. All right, any more questions? If not, if you guys need some help or you're working through things, you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can reach us at bankert.ca just under the contact button, or if you have email, definitely email, text.